All right. How's it going, everyone? I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. All right, hello. How's everyone doing? Just hanging out. I'm trying some new live stream settings. So, if it's not really working or having issues, definitely let me know so I can see how to make it better. Whoops, let's go back here. All right, so today I'm just continuing to work on some of the visual effects, and maybe if we have some time, the end title credits that we're going to do for our short film coming out that my buddies and I shot. And yeah, just breaking down some visual effects, working on some stuff, and hanging out. So feel free to ask questions in the chat, and yeah, just try to answer them and get to what I can. Cool. I'm just checking out my. We have a Google sheet of all the visual effects that needs to be done, so I'm just trying to see what I want to do right now. Let's go ahead and open it up. Wizard AJ Gamer, thanks for letting me know, man. Yeah, I'm just trying a couple of new settings and just wondering like how the. I feel weird not having any background music, so I'm playing just out of a browser some royalty-free music. So I'm just curious how it sounds and how I sound and how the stream looks. And if it's all working, that's great. All right. So one of the shots I kind of need to start working on a little bit more is we've got this in our short film. This guy's being chased by some of these attack drones or whatever we're calling them. So I'm kind of I need to work on this. I need to kind of see if I can get a good track off of it and start building it all in Sim 4D. So I'll probably start with this and work on this for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Right now these are just still frames in here, so nothing too crazy. In fact, this might just be a still background. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start finding these shots and working on it. All right. Actually, I'm pull up the Premiere timeline and grab some clips from it. I would dynamically link this inside of Premiere and work on After Effects, but I just seem to always have issues when I use dynamic link. It just never seems to work properly when I have to give it to someone or. So I like to just copy and paste it. So I'm going to start looking at the end here. When he runs out of the building, we start getting our drone shots in. This shot will be easy to track. I'm not too worried about this. It's more or less this running shot that we have that might be a little tricky. All right, let's see here. Otherwise, how's everyone doing? Wizard, where are you tuning in from? All right, cool. Just ran a script real quick to sort of clean up my my project assets. Getting a little messy, but that's all right. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on this shot right here. Or let's do it kind of in order here. This shot where he runs out and stops in front of the drones, and the drones are supposed to be swooping in, kind of getting him to stop and I guess surrender in a way. So let's go ahead. I'm just gonna grab this clip right out of Premiere, just copy it, paste it in After Effects. Cool. There we go. All right, so let's just see right off the bat how the camera tracker is going to do. It should be just fine. It's a really short shot, which is nice. Gotta get used to working on one screen. All right. So that was a pretty easy camera solve, I would assume. Oh yeah. Alright, cool. So let's see if I can use these three to get our ground plane going on here. And I did not like that very much. Yeah, well, it's technically not a 3D track, so it shouldn't matter too much, but... Alright, let's say... Because I still need to figure out kind of where the drones are, and they might be closer back towards the trees, so... Let's, I might just grab a couple of... Well, let's just grab this one. And just for reference, I might get a more... Let's get a better idea of this tree line. Cool. This really should be all that we kind of need to kind of get this 3D shot on. All right, let's get this going into cinema. And actually, real quick, what I might do, render this out as a PNG sequence so I can get it as a background object inside of cinema. I normally don't listen to EDM, but after it loops for like the 600th time, it's kind of it's kind of catchy, I guess. Unless there's some other royalty-free music that someone else knows of that I can play in the background, but it seems the pickings are slim. All right, let's see here. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna save this into a JPEG sequence real quick. And that we will bring into cinema. All right, cool. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn on, actually, nah, I'm good. I was going to turn on some of the other, get some more graphics cards going, but we'll probably be fine with what I have, so we'll try it out. All right, cool. So this is kind of the test comp I was just sort of practicing with, seeing how things worked. Let me make this a window we can all see. Start Octane here. Got our little attack drone here. Still needs a little work, needs a little love, but yeah, it's kind of working out. So let's let's change out this background image. Let's bring in our image sequence we just rendered out. Let's see here. Oh, that's from Friday's tutorial. If anyone has questions on that, the bullet time tutorial, just let me know. We're just here to hang out. I mean, whatever you guys want. All right, let's see here. Excuse me. All right, cool. So now we got that as our background. Let's go ahead and get this to be animated. Yeah, that's not right. I see what I did. All right, you know what? Real quick, I'm just gonna re-render this real quick. It's taking the time code from the actual shot. I really just want to start at 0. So now my frames won't be such crazy long numbers. Let's rename this. We'll write this 2. All right, let's turn these back out again real quick. All right, that's almost done. Just don't want to deal with crazy long time code numbers and then rendering it to frames, so it's these long file names. So let's try this again, see what this looks like. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right. There we go. It's only 58 frames. It's not too bad. And let's make sure to make this an animated preview. And now let's get our camera in here. So I'm gonna grab these nulls and the 3D tracker or 3D camera. And let's see here. Let's export this. All right. I'm just gonna bring that camera into Cinema. And take these nulls, and instead of dots, I'm gonna make them something like circles, just so I can see it. And let's just kind of see how this moves. Yep, nothing too crazy on that. Just gonna copy this and throw that camera in here. Let's take a look at it. All right, so my original stuff's a little off. I kind of figured as much. Only other thing I need to do is I need to add an octane tag to our camera. And I do know that this camera, let's see, I think my buddy Ryan, the DP, I think he said that this camera was a 16 millimeter camera. Might need to double check that, but that's what we'll go with for now. All right. Cool. So our drone is a little off. Let's find our trees null here. This is an old camera I was using. This is our new camera. So let's get our drone a little more towards where these trees are. And move it down. Okay, so this drone is right with those trees, so I might move it up just a little bit. Let's kind of turn it towards our guy. And we're kind of getting somewhere. Let me pause our Octane preview just so we can kind of see how it shakes around. And it might be a little bit too high poly of a model to play in real time here. Cool. All right, well, we got a good idea of where that drone's going to look. The tough part is going to be animating it and getting that flight to look correct. But as of right now, the lighting and stuff doesn't bother me too much. Let's let me preview this and see if I can get... I didn't think I would need the ground in there, but I actually might. Yeah, I might need the... All right, let's go back here. Let's get an idea where the ground is. Just in case, I'm thinking we might need a shadow on there. I didn't think I'd need that before, but let's see here. This will be our ground plane. So I'm just going to export this again real quick. Just going to grab the ground plane null since we have the other one set up. Let's try that again. Hold on really quick. There was a ball under the couch that Pixel wanted. Man, coming from Africa, that is awesome. I don't know how long the delay is. It seems pretty long, so I'm typing into the chat first. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's try bringing this in again. I don't know why this isn't. All right, here we go. All right, so now that we got our new camera and our trees and our ground plane in there, that looks way too large. So for that, I'm going to turn these nulls back into circles. And just make them big so I can kind of see them. Maybe I'll make them red for now. Cool. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. I'm going to delete this drone for now. All right. So this is the tree line. Let's put them a little in front of the trees, make them a little smaller. Something like that. Drop it down just a little bit. And the reason I want this ground plane null is I want to try to I might need the shadows, so let's select the ground plane, and you know, we'll just add a big plane for now. So let's see. Yeah, I might need to catch the shadows there a little bit. Let's go ahead. Isn't matching 100% correctly, but all right, cool. So what I have here from the preview that you can kind of see is once we get everything rendered out, this plane won't even be there, and I'll have just the drone and just a shadow. So this will work out. I don't even really want to see. My infamous cannot type. All right. Oh boy, I gotta do something cool because the beat's about to drop. Oh, sorry. Nope, that was a little anticlimactic there. Let's see. So we kind of seems like my drone model's messing up a little bit here. My propellers are a little off all of a sudden. Okay. They're off because I have them keyframed. Let's see, so if I put it back in the null and I switch this over to object mode, I should be good. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. So we're kind of start over just a little bit there, but I forgot that I animated these propellers already. So, you know, obviously if I move it and it's not inside of a null, it's going to get all screwed up, so. Perik from the UK? Man, we're getting all the continents in here. Man, all right, we need someone from, we need some Asian viewers. Who else can we get? Can we get, you know, we need someone from Australia. It's awesome. Yikes! I typed that in the chat. Forgive the awful caps. I had my caps on. It's all right. That's all right. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Tom's from the UK too. That's awesome, man. Well, hey, welcome. I'm glad you guys are all here. So, all right. What time differences does everybody have right now? For me, it's 12:20 in the afternoon, just hanging out. What do you guys have? Learning lots from your videos. Thanks, man. I hope it helps. 7:20 p.m. from Tom. It's awesome, man. Well, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it makes sense. Since you're both in the UK, it kind of makes sense, I guess. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here hanging out. All right, let's update this in Octane a little bit. Let me get my ground plane back in there. Yeah, eventually I got to figure out how to get this guy to sort of fly in and stop before our escapee or prisoner, whatever we're calling him. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do, because we kind of lost the background here, is see, I'm going to turn off the alpha channel for now and keep the environment. Oh, stand by really quick, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. If my dog isn't trying to get a ball, my fire alarm batteries need to be changed. I guess that's just what happens when you try to live stream. Stuff like this happens, I guess. Whatever. We'll get through it. Alright, so I got too many backgrounds in here from my test. Alright. I'm not too sure why the background isn't showing up now. But you know what? Let's just move on. Alright, so this is going to be the tricky part. I'm going to have to pause Octane for a little bit here just sort of turn off this ground plane. Yeah, it's gonna choke, and another reason I might be choking a little bit is because this was all shot in 4K, so these image sequences are 4K and the whole 9 yards. Lee Kuhn? If I slaughtered that, I totally apologize. Thanks for tuning in and joining, man. I see your yo. I feel like you should freestyle for us now or something. I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. Where are you from? We got some UK people in here. We got some people from Africa. Man, it's crazy. All right, so I'm going to turn off the background for now because it's choking a little bit on the 4K. And let me double check. I think it went to frame 55. Is that what we said? Frame 58. Okay, so this shot's only 58 frames. Man, this is gonna... We'll see how this goes. Alright, so I'm just gonna start randomly keyframing, and we'll kind of see if it looks like it's sort of flying in and, you know, kind of got that gradual coming towards the ground, wanting to stop the prisoner from running away. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. In case anyone's wondering about the short film, we are gonna. It's a sponsored video. I'll explain more about that in a few weeks, but we're gonna release it on YouTube and then break down all the effects. And I'm gonna try to do some. Well, we have a giveaway and stuff too, so that's all gonna be on the YouTube channel. So if you want, subscribe to keep up on that, because I have been getting some questions about the short film, and yeah, we'll break down all those visual effects and have some tutorials, and I'm trying to give some free stuff away, and yeah, it should be fun. Trying to contribute a little bit, you know. All right, so let's just say we kind of want him here. And we'll worry about the rotors and all this stuff later, because I kind of want it to turn properly, and these guns rotate in our camera. Let's just kind of see what sort of rotating in like this looks like. That might be already way too far, but that's okay. Yeah, so let's bring it down a little bit. And let's see real quick. I'm going to change my viewport up just so I kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. It's actually, we're going widescreen, so it's actually more than this. So, you know what I might do really quick? Let's see if I can do this. I might add a foreground object, because we're going to add some widescreen bars to this, so it'll kind of give it that 235 look. Any plugin did you use so far? Oh gosh, the main plugin that we're going to kind of sort of show off during this is we did some motion tracking with Fei from Faytech. Definitely recommend checking that out. But it's an all-in-one sort of motion tracker that you can do everything inside of After Effects, and it's really cool. So I'll do some videos, some tutorials, some breakdowns on that, and yeah, hopefully you get an idea of Faytech and Fei plugin. Otherwise, just use an Octane render for this. Just kind of just a standard effect so far. So yeah, thanks for asking. So real quick, let me try bringing in, let's see if this will show up. Just gonna add those widescreen bars. All right, so that cropped it in even more. So let's let's take a look at what we got now. So this is gonna get a little tricky. Let's see. This is tough because I know we're gonna move this shot down a little bit. Let me sorry guys, I'm just trying to sort of plan this all out in my head so I don't have to do anything extra they don't really need to. So yeah, so we might move him down a little bit. All right, you know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna kind of animate this into his eye line, and we'll just make it work. If this music gets obnoxious, just let me know. I can switch it. Unless someone has any ideas of some royalty-free music that you want to hear in the background. I can't work without some sort of noise or background noise. Let's see. I'm just gonna sort of kind of push some keyframes around. Just using the automatic keyframe mode here, so we'll see. See what we get. Okay. So we'll see if we get a little bit of a bounce in on this. Alright, so this might need to be a little faster, him dropping in. Not that fast. And let's see. Man. Might add a little bit of a... It's not wiggle. What is it called? Vibrate? Why can't everyone just name it the same thing? Let's do a little bit of the rotation. Gosh, we'll see what this looks like. Just kind of giving it a little bit of random motion to the drone here. Let's get a little bit on the up and down maybe. Yeah, no. I mean, I kind of feel like that's done. I think we're good again. Might give it just a little more. Because I mean, this is a precision drone. We don't want to get it to look too crazy. Have you tried Signal from Grayscale Gorilla? Yeah, I have seen it. I just haven't purchased it. It is a really sweet plugin though. I do like it. So I might do just a little bit of an overshoot. Just see what that looks like real quick. Yikes. Nope. So that's kind of cool. This might make it a little less dramatic. And it might just be one of those deals where I kind of want to just get it into the timeline and see how it feels in the actual edit. So I might just bring this out all the way, actually. And I'm just gonna ease all these in more. I actually want the I want the pitch to come out a little later. Whoops. Kind of missing that little landing that it's doing. Alright, so we're kind of getting something. I mean, might be one of those deals where I really just need to get into it and see what it looks like. Because, I mean, we're cutting right here. Let me extend this out just a little bit more. Go past our 55 frames here. Alright, so maybe like right here, I kind of want these rotors to start sort of... So that's like our air brake, and I know I'm going to get some sort of phone call, or, well, not phone call. I'm going to get a comment from like a drone expert like, well, this isn't how the propellers work. And I'm sure they're right. I'm sorry. If you're a drone expert, I'm sorry. But what I'm thinking is the propellers sort of turn, air brake in, and then level off right as soon as we kind of get this easing out to happen. So... you know, just to see what that looks like, let's try it. Alright, so we got our propellers here. So we can kind of rotate those. And let's see. Want these sort of even off. And the whole body is still a little... Maybe I'll try just going all the way out here. Let's take a look at that. Doesn't look mechanical enough yet, but a little tweaking, it can get there. I might take a vibrate tag again and sort of, let's see. I mean, that looks like it's fighting some turbulence. That's not exactly what we want. Maybe just some more subtle movement. Yeah, we'll see. Overall, it's gonna need some love. That's for sure. All right, now I kind of want this to drop in faster. Yeah, we need still just a little bit more subtle movement on this. Let's just try cranking up the frequency and making this real tiny. Now this one's bothering me a little bit. So yeah, I'm just sort of fine-tuning this stuff. I won't spend too much time on it since, you know, people are hanging out watching. I'll kind of just get a gist for it. And then we can move on and look at some other things. I can sort of knock out the boring tweaks of it later, you know. Yeah, the bouncing makes it feel light. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like it's fighting wind, or it's not, you know, very solid drone. I totally agree. So yeah, we'll let's adjust that bouncing even more. And we do have that camera shake kind of helping us a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, let's tone this down. It's a good call that the bouncing is a little too much. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we'll just use the the natural handheld shake will help us a little bit. And that's what some of this is, so maybe I need to counter that a little bit. But, yeah. It's all coming together. Or something. Let's see, I might want this turn. I kind of want to see these a little bit more, so I might just sort of fake in a little bit more of this. So yeah, now the frequency is too much. So, okay. Cool, so we're kind of getting there. Because I don't need him to turn too much because these guns are going to be able to turn as well. So since we're here, let's sort of start the guns to turn. So they start flat, and I think maybe they kind of start to turn towards our guy. Just kind of give that a look. Let's get the gizmos off of him here. It's not bad. All right. You know, quick question. Do you guys want the, would it help during the stream if I had the keyboard commands on there? Like whatever I'm pressing, the little shortcut comes up, or does anybody really care about that? Just throw it in the comments. Just let me know if that helps anyone. right, so what we could do is we could just render out a quick little low-res test. Yeah, let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna turn on my other computer so I can render out a test of this really quick. In the meantime, let me toss up this not finished, need the roto done on their shoulder shot. Be right back. All right. Whoa, excuse me. How about reducing the time scale on Cinema 4D to make it more floating in space? I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Maybe just explain a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as a bad idea, right? Tim G just subscribed, man. Hey, thanks for subscribing and hanging out, man. Appreciate it. All right, I'm just trying to get these computers ready so I can just team render to it real quick. Cool, here we go. Just gonna throw this to the team render and we'll see what it looks like. Let's do a low res preview. Let's see here. Let me also output this current frame really quick just so I can make sure I'm getting our ground shadows. And we'll do just a real low res render here. Let's see. Man, I'm not used to working off of one screen. I gotta get used to it. Alright, so we got some pretty low settings as it is. Let's just do like 100. And let's just render out the current frame real quick. Deny. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. The only issue with that is I'm not using dynamics in anything, so it wouldn't affect anything. Right now, everything is just keyframed, not actually using any dynamics. think my multipass settings might be set a little too high. Okay, so we got a couple of messed up settings here, but that's all right. No, I haven't rendered out with motion blur. I was going to use Real Smart Motion Blur inside of After Effects. No, come on. I'm pretty sure Octane just crashed. I know. Oh no! Gosh. I love Octane, but maybe it's just me, but I'm also not on the newest version of Octane, but sometimes I feel like it's a little buggy. I don't know. All right, let's kind of get back to where we were here. Sorry about that. All right, cool. So let's check out these render settings again. I love that. Oh no! All right, so first things first. Okay. All right, let's save this. Gosh. And I'm gonna output the current frame, but I'm not gonna save it. Let's just see what it looks like. was my GPU card. So what I have going on my workstation is a 980 Ti and a 780 Ti. And then my other computer downstairs, which is my GPU farm, I bought a bunch of used 780 Ti's. So right now I don't have a couple of them plugged in because I'm getting some more riser cards. But I have right now four 780 Ti's and one 970 downstairs network rendering this right now. So total right now, let's see. Yeah, so total right now, I'm using 7 GPUs. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these render. Let's render and see what we got. Okay, so what I forgot to do is let's get our ground. Let's see here. We need octane tag. Let's do the octane object. Huho Haviste? Thanks for subscribing, man. I apologize if I slaughtered that, but hey, man. Glad you're here. Glad you're tuning in. Giant? No, you know, I actually got all those parts. I got the majority of them used, and you know, I was running into some issues constantly purchasing render farm credits and having render farm credit issues, you know, for like Octane render. And one day, you know, I had a project that was due, and everything went wrong that could have gone wrong with this render farm company. And I missed a deadline. And after that day, I basically made the decision to kind of save up and sort of build this render farm over time. And it has definitely saved my, you know, my butt plenty of times freelancing. So that's all that came about. You know, other people might not have those sort of issues, but I did, and it was enough for me to invest in that just so I didn't miss another deadline and, you know, ruin any relationship with my clients, because my clients are awesome and I love them and I want to do good work for them and I don't want to let them down. You know, that's the whole point of being a freelancer. And so, yeah, that's the only reason. So I should be getting the shadows by itself without having to have this ground plane. So I gotta figure out what the correct settings are here. I haven't had to do a lot of multi-layer compositing with Octane for a while, so I need to, you know, like everything, you gotta refresh on those skills when you haven't used them in a little bit. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, let me just try this once more. It's awesome. All right. Okay, so let's see here. All right, well, I mean, worst case scenario, I could just multiply this over, but I know there's a way that you can get shadows without having to have an object on there. Oh, I do have render layer 2. Oh, okay. All right, it's all come together. Let's try this once more. Do I think Microsoft Surface is suitable for working with small 3D projects? Let's see. So I assume we're talking about the new Surface. That's that nice little bendy, big screen with the little node dial and stuff. I think as a computer it looks really sweet, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, I actually haven't looked at the stats are. So I'm not 100% sure what sort of processor it has, what sort of GPU it has. Are you on Mac or PC right now? That might be a good question. Because either way, maybe it's, if you're thinking of making the switch, it might be a good time if you're on a Mac. PC. Okay, cool. Sorry, there's like a huge delay for me too. So, all right. So, man, you know, it's a great question. Let's I'm just looking up the stats real quick. Surface Studio? Let's see here. All right, let me check this render real quick. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So yeah, I just had to mat out that object. So now we have something that has separate shadow passes. Let's see. I'm going to save this. Let me save this and let's look up those Surface Studio stats really quick. Oh, no, man, you don't have to stop. Don't worry about stopping me at all. That's the whole reason I want to live stream is, you know, hang out and, you know, talk equipment and motion graphics. And my buddy was on the other day on Skype. We were talking about cameras and drones. So, yeah, no worries at all, man. I love this stuff. And that new Surface Studio is very pretty. All right, cool. So I'm going to render these frames real quick while we look at the Surface Studio. All right, so what do we have here? So should we just go with the largest one for now? Let's see what we got. 32 gigs RAM, 4 gig GPU. Let's see. All right, all right. See if I can get the... Whoa. So, okay, so that right away is $4,200 for the 2 terabyte version. Let's see here. And that's just going for the largest GPU. And then the lowest one is an i5. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the i5s because it's. I mean, they're great, but I mean, for what we do, we need a little bit more power. But that's just my opinion. Without knowing what this GPU is, I would say for $4,200, if you're looking at 3D animation and stuff, you could probably get a lot more bang for your buck, especially at $4,200. Let's see. Let's look at the specs here. Okay, and so the other bummer with that GPU is that it's a 965M, which is the mobile version. So, or let's see here. Oh yeah, so 965M, GTX 980M. So they're both the mobile versions. I mean, I definitely think you could get away with it. I won't say it won't work, but I don't know for that much if that's where I would go personally. But I'm also not a big I'm not a big drawer. I can't even draw stick figures half the time. So if you're a good artist, like a good drawer, like my buddy Matt, he is an amazing like artist, and this might be something he's interested in, but he likes just doodling on tablets and stuff. So as far as 3D, that's tough. I guess my final answer on this long rant would be, I'm sure it would get the job done, but I wouldn't buy it for the sole purpose of 3D. I think for $4,200, you could either build your own, or if you don't want to do that, go to one of those, custom builders, or go with that. Let's see, it's an HP something or other. It's pretty beastly, and I think it's in that price range. All right, so this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Oh, man, if I stop this, is it going to crash again? Here, let's save this. All right, let's see if it crashes. So is it just stopping the... Oh, wait, okay, we're good. We're good. Everyone calm down. Let's see. Salmon? Sorry if I keep slaughtering that, man. Your question, a workstation question mark. Yeah, let me know what you think about that, the price on that and stuff. I mean, I think it's a sweet machine, but... And the advertising for that? Yeah, let's see. Let's see. So John Dickinson from MotionWorks, he did a whole... Let's see. He did a whole thing about how he made the switch from Apple to PC about a year ago. And he's totally been talking about it. Okay, so here's what he has. The HP... This is what he went with. And again, I don't know anything about this. This is just what he recommended from whatnot. But he went with the HP Z840. And he just put in 2 of these GTX 1080s. But even this HP... What does it start at? Walmart? You can get it at Walmart? That doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah, and obviously you can customize it on HP's workshop. But yeah, again, for $4,200, I think it could take you a long way. Are you looking at getting a new machine, or you're just curious, or what do you have right now? Just overall. Very average, even low one. Got you. Yeah, I mean that is definitely one of the advantages of like ATI 1 gig. Now I don't know if you're messing with me or if you're serious. Got you. So 8 gigs of RAM. Are you looking? So are you looking to upgrade, build your own? Or are you kind of on the fence, not sure what to do? Yeah, and sorry if I'm slow to respond. It looks like my lag, between looks like what the live stream is versus what I'm saying is pretty significant. So I don't know how much you're hearing me or how much it's lagging, but yeah, it's fine for 2D work, but 3D work, just forget it. Yeah, it's tough, man, because especially if you have large scenes. The more gigs you have in your GPUs, that's what's gonna utilize those large scenes and polygons and stuff like that. So if you start doing a lot of like cloner object or MoGraph work and stuff, it starts to get pretty bogged down and difficult. I definitely understand that. And one of the advantages of building your own, the downside would be like I can't pick it up and take it to a computer store to fix it if something happens. But the upside is as stuff comes out, I can just keep popping in graphics cards or switch out the CPU, because you kind of build it and know how to do it yourself. And maybe you've already built a computer before, but that's definitely one advantage, because you can kind of get sort of like entry level parts to kind of sneak your way in there and start working, and then like, oh, okay, now I'm going to upgrade my RAM. Now, okay, however it goes by later. Now I'm going to upgrade, upgrade the graphics card and stuff like that. This is Ryan. How's it going? Awesome. Okay. Sure. Right now I'm just doing some motion graphics, live streaming, and just hanging out with people. Yeah. No, I will in a little bit. I was gonna basically wait till you guys get back. I thought he was. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, sounds good. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Love you too. Bye bye. That's the wife. Got to answer when the wife calls. Hey man, how's it going? I am so sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name. Let's see, hold on. I'm just typing in the chat here real quick. All right, so let's see. So I have this scene rendering in the background. I might move on for a little bit. All right, so I typed you. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hey, I'm glad you're here. Let me know where you're from. Audrey. Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, so we've had UK, Africa, Russia in just what, the hour and a half that we've been here. That's really awesome. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're hanging out. Did I miss anyone else or miss anyone else's country? Thanks for your tuts. Very useful for me. Hey, man, no problem at all. That's the whole point. Just hanging out and you know, I'm always learning too, so I'd like to help people with what they're learning. I just remember when I first started, you know, I watched a lot of other people's tutorials and it helped me. So I'm just trying to hang out and give back and yeah, just have fun, you know. So that's awesome. I'm glad it's helping. You know, just gonna try to keep going. All right, cool. So we got this running in the background. Let me take a look at my got a Google sheet here. Ooh, you know what we do have? Let's see. So we got this. This shot might be tricky. Let's keep going on these drone shots since we're working on them. Let's do. This is actually supposed to be an over-the-shoulder shot of the drone, so I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. Alt home to bring that back in. Let's see here. This might have been warped. Okay, so this has been... So this is GoPro footage. It's ultra wide. We're going to... Oh! Iran. I totally missed that. That's awesome. Well, hey. That's awesome. Glad you're hanging out. Alright, sweet. So let's take a... So I got a little bit more time here to stream, and I might be back on later tonight, or, I mean, I'm going to be also streaming throughout the week, so, yeah. In the meantime... Let's take a look at this footage. Let's see. I wonder if I can add. All right, so let's do this. I've actually never really tried this. I'm just curious if it works at all. So normally what I do to unbend... So to unbend a GoPro footage, because it's this ultra fisheye look, Premiere has these nice little options where you can just select the GoPro that you used, which is really nice, and it kind of unbends it for us. I don't think After Effects has that. So normally what I do is I do an optics compensation, set it to diagonal, and I sort of just, let's do reverse lens distortion here. And let's see, this was also readjusted, so I'm going to reset that. And so basically I just use optics compensation. I kind of just bend it till I get it to eye. But that's what I was wondering with this grid, if maybe we can sort of, well, this was not too much to sort of reference it to. Maybe this edge of the building right here. Kind of get an idea of how far to take it. Might still have to eyeball it. So that is one way to do it. So let's flatten that out just a little bit. That's not bad. And I might just go ahead and move all the attributes into a new comp because I wanna track this. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the track camera. Oh, actually, before I do that, let's I'm gonna trim this comp just to make sure. I mean, the clip ends, but I just want to make sure I don't need to track anything. I don't, anything extra I don't need to. So, whoops, wrong one. Stand by. All right, track camera. How does the I know I already asked this, but how does the music and the microphone and everything sound? Because unlike tutorials, I kind of like this out of the way in my face. Eventually, I need to upgrade all of this so you can't hear like the mouse so loud and stuff like that. But as far as quality of stream and watching it, let me know what you guys think, or if there's anything that's sort of bugging you or kind of annoying or whatever. You won't hurt my feelings. It's okay. We can be honest with each other. At least today. Interesting, it didn't... We were not able to camera track this. Interesting. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? Because I have a feeling it's the bending isn't helping it very much. Is I'm just going to take this shot. Let's see. I want to open up my other comp really quick. Stand by. Actually, this will still work. Cool. So I'm just going to reset the position on this. I'm just going to export this by itself with the nice little GoPro lens distortion already kicked in. All right, so we'll do a quick time. We actually shot this 4:4:4:4. My buddy Ryan has the Ursa Mini, so we shot it on that, it was a lot of fun to work on. BBS Media. It's rare to see videos that describe in detail the entire post-production process and the 3D object integration. Thanks for the initiative. Yeah, man. Of course, no problem at all. It's it's not exactly like a gaming stream where everything's high impact and people act crazy and stuff, but yeah, I mean, if it's interesting to you, that's the whole point. Just trying to see what people are interested in, and it's fun for me, and we're releasing our short film soon, and it's funnier than anything. We only had one day to do it, but the whole point of the short film is to get some tutorials out there, and hopefully we can kind of try to figure out some giveaways and some free stuff to give you guys as well. So that's like the whole reason we're doing this. So this is just another way to interact with the people that might watch the film and, hang out on the YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and let me find where to export this shot really quick, and we'll try tracking it again. Sometimes it's easier just to do that, in my opinion. See, so it's 3. All right, so let's just export that really quick. And then before let's see. Let's check this, because before I leave the stream today, I definitely want us to see what our test render looks like of this drone motion tracked in the shot with our main character, and that's almost done. So we'll definitely get a chance to see that today, which will be sweet. I mean, it might look a little janky being, you know, just a quick test render, but we'll probably get a good idea of it. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and jump back into After Effects. And I have these VFX exports that I'm making, so I'm just going to bring that in. BBS, did you say where you were from? Did I miss it? Sicarius LP from Germany. Man, it's awesome. Glad you're here, man. That's awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, I figure there was plenty of tracking markers. I don't know why we had such an issue with the other one. Let's see, it looks like I left a black frame in there. Yeah, okay. So we had plenty to work with, which is kind of what I was figuring. So I'm gonna make these whoops. Make these track points just a little bigger. And since we have plenty to work with, I'm just gonna sort of select a bunch of these guys. And let's just get a... Actually, you know what? Yeah, it is more, just not too much movement. So it is counting it as a tripod solve, which it's not technically, but that's, I mean, that's fine. We might not even technically need to track this because this is just an over-the-shoulder shot. So yeah, we do have some sliding. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so there is a little bit of... Alright, sorry guys. I'm going to do this clip once more just because I don't quite trust what just happened here. So it looks like there's a frame missing. Alright, let's try this once more. I mean, if anything, we could, I mean, maybe we just switch it up and let's do the camera tracker in cinema. I mean, I hardly ever use it. This might be a, you know, we can just switch it up for you guys. Why not? See how it works. The only part that's a bummer is I feel like it gets slow with the 4K. Let's just try this once more. I love XT XTs. Hey man, thanks for subscribing and hanging out. Appreciate it. Have to say thank you for your tuts. Thanks for showing more details than others. Love your vids. Hey man, that's awesome. No problem at all. Appreciate it. I'll keep trying to keep making it and keep going. For anyone who's hanging out now, I think the tutorial for next Friday is I'm thinking of, and I know a lot of like low poly stuff has already been done out there, but I just had a project where I had to do a lot of low poly stuff, and I made kind of a quick, easy way to make objects low poly, enough inside of Cinema, and it's kind of like a little toolkit. So this Friday's tutorial, I'm thinking of releasing that, and also releasing the free toolkit. So yeah, check that out on Friday if you want that free Cinema 4D toolkit, and that might help your workflow out. So anyways, let's not forget to track this camera. And speaking of that, okay, so this other shot's almost done. We can bring that in soon, see what it looks like. I guess I'm just shocked that this shot is sliding. It's so simple. All right, let's see what this looks like again. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, see, and this time it also didn't recognize it as a tripod solve, which it's not, because we do have a little bit of parallax and movement. So, yeah, that's weird. Maybe that black frame threw off the tracker. So let's just do this process again. I'm gonna make those a little bit larger. And since this is kind of the middle of our scene, and I know that this kind of goes uphill right here, so I might actually just select sort of like these guys right here. Let's get this little guy in there. And we're gonna set this as ground plane and origin. And from there, let's make a null in the camera. So then we got this guy here. And our scene is tiny. That's why I have to scale up this null so large. So let's go to our top camera, see what we got here. Yeah, our scene is huge. So if let's get this back to 100. So if I kind of, use the camera tools here, I'm just pressing C to get through the shortcuts. If I just zoom out, yikes, the camera's even further than that. So, okay. All right, so no big deal. There's a couple of workarounds we can do for this. Let me try a script really quick that I haven't used in a little while. It's the, let's see here, Orient World. So Orient World is a cool little script that I haven't used as much because I haven't done as much motion tracking as I used to, but it's an awesome little script that it can take your world, or like this 3D track, for example, how it's huge and we can't see anything that's happening, and it can make it to something that you can work with and manageable while keeping all your tracking data the same. It's quite a lifesaver. I really like it. So already right here, let's just hit apply on this pixel scale and see what we get here. I should be able just to select these. Let's see. Alright, so we adjusted that a little bit. It still looks like it's huge to me. And look how large our null just got because we rescaled everything. I'm just going to do a few times. Just because it seems to be not working exactly how I want it to. Let's see, let's try it once more. Alright, so that increased our world. That's not what we want to do. Alright, so there we go. So there's a cool little example. Let me undo this. So here I'm in the left view. Let's go to the, let's go to the top view. And here we have an example, you know, like we said, our pixel's super tiny, and I have no idea where the camera is in frame. It's somewhere way out of frame. So I'm just going to select these. We're going to make our world smaller. We're going to go on a 0.05. Let's apply that. All right, so now we have our camera in frame, and it's something that we can actually see and manage. Awesome. So I still might make this null a little larger, just so I can see it. And now when we actually zoom out, we can see our camera, and we can work with it in 3D space. So I hope that kind of made sense. Hope that kind of helps. So since we have this, let's go ahead. Actually, let's check our 3D render real fast. All right, so our 3D render is done. I promised we would get to that point, so let's at least let's just look at our test that we did today. I mean, it might look cheeseball, but I mean, come on. We gotta work out the kinks, right? All right, cool. So I might take the aspect bars out of there for now. Let's see. Another plugin that I love for image sequences, if you guys deal with a lot of image sequences, is immigration. And immigration is just so easy to manage your sequences. And if you need to replace them, you can select them, replace them. It's super easy. So let's go ahead and I'll kind of take you through a little tour of immigration. So let's go to our, let's see here. So I'm just going to select a folder where all of my image sequences just went. And it's really hard to see. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but here we have our, looks like our image sequences came in a little weird. Stand by. All right, let me find the correct folder here really quick. Okay, I had the wrong folder open. All right, so here is where all my render sequences went into from Cinema 4D. It looks like I left some passes that I forgot to uncheck. I don't actually need them, but That's totally fine. So what we can do from immigration is we can kind of see all of our layers at once here. We can select import, and it'll select all these at once, import them, and we can also set it to the time frame, you know, the frame rate that we want. So let me double check the frame rate of this. So 23.976. So let's go to 23.976. I might have to adjust this later. I'm just going to select all these, import. And so here are all my shots from cinema. And obviously if I go to interpret footage main, these are all set to the frame rate that we just indicated. So let's go ahead and drop this in. And I rendered them out at technically 24 frames per second, but we'll see how much of a difference it actually is. So let's just, let's just ram preview this, see what it looks like. Now, obviously, we gotta sweeten it up a little bit, make it look nice. It's it's obviously 2 CG right now, but it looks like it's in the scene pretty well, and yeah, guys, we did it. We're getting there. You know, there's obviously little things I need to adjust. The interesting thing is it looks like I got some transparency going on here. Let me turn this on and off. Let's see. Well, obviously I have to solo the layer. Stand by. Let's see. Yeah, I do have some transparency going through there, which is fine. I still have it out in a different pass, but all right, so let's look at our passes that we actually need here. So the interesting thing is our passes only came out as 2 frames. That's interesting. Okay, so for some reason our passes didn't render correctly. I have to redo those, but we can kind of still play with this a little bit and get it to look like something. All right, cool. So I'm just, I did work on these a little bit as a still frame, so I'm just going to replace them all with our image sequence to see how close we can get. So yeah, it's a little hazy, looks a little weird, but let's see what we got here. Doesn't look cheeseball at all, man. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, still needs a little bit of work, but yeah, we'll get there. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like I'm not really going to be able to use much of my previous coloring. Let's see, that was my... You know, I'll just start this over in case anyone wants to see it. Of how I try to like to make things match. Let's just delete all that and start over, which is totally fine. And let's turn everything on. I just want to see what it looks like with kind of our fake color grading that we might end up doing. Let's see. And right now I just have like a general Magic Bullet looks great over it just to kind of get an idea. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take the... let me purge this real fast. I might take the bars off while I'm working on it just because I know that we're going to shift the whole framing down. So I'm not too worried about how that looks currently. Just gonna take those off. All right, so let's make it match a little bit more. And let's see. Mark Plunkett just subscribed. Okay, so I know Mark Plunkett. If you guys have seen any of my tutorials, if you guys have seen the tutorial where I do the heat wave distortion effect, and I talk about this awesome guy that worked on robot jocks from the 80s, that is Mark Plunkett. That is who just subscribed. Full disclaimer, I think he did it just for the stream, which I appreciate, Mark. But Mark is actually working on some of the visual effects as well. He's doing some awesome screen replacements. He's doing some signage that he motion tracked to replace some of the signs in the short film. And yeah, he's doing some awesome stuff. Awesome guy. Mark Plunkett, thanks for subscribing. Even though I know you, and we had dinner last night. So, which was amazing lasagna, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, you'll see more of Mark coming up. So, actually, if Mark, if you are watching live, if you have any tips on how to make this drone shot integrated in the scene a little bit more, just let me know. I just rendered out a test today while we were all working on it, and now I'm going to sort of do some overall color correction of what I like to do. If you see anything, or if anybody sees anything, has any tips, feel free to put them in the chat. So let's start making this shot match. And one of the things I like to do to start making it match is we got to match our black and white levels. That's always what sort of kills it, in my opinion. And so one of the first things I'll do is I like to hit Alt 1. And Alt 1, 2, and 3 let me look at the red, green, and blue channels. And what I like to do, I just like to hit Alt 1 real fast because it gets me a quick little black and white preview so I can kind of see what everything's looking like. So first thing I'll do is I'm just going to add a levels to this. And I'm just going to bring up the blacks to maybe kind of match what I see over here. In fact, I might just sort of bring it over there for now and kind of sort of trying to match the overall blacks and whites. All right, let's go ahead and reset that positioning. So see how it kind of already starting to blend in a little bit more? Was that just a baby on the music? That was weird. Anyways. All right, and then what I might start doing from here is now I switch from my levels over to the red channel. And, you know, maybe I'll just add another levels real quick. And one of the things I kind of like to do from here is just go into each channel as I'm looking through them here. And in my levels adjustment, I'm in the red channel now, and I'm kind of just sort of trying to blend everything together so it kind of just all looks sort of the same in each channel. So I'm kind of just adjusting the reds to make sure it sort of matches. I might just, you know, and I'm kind of just eyeballing these, tweaking these, and, you know, people might have a better way to do this. And especially if they have a faster way, I would love to know what it is. But so I'm just kind of sort of going to match these greens now, which they aren't too bad. Then I hit Alt 3. Now I'm in the blue channel. And the blue darks maybe might be a little darker. Something like that. And let's get out of it. And it looks a little too green. Went too far with the green. Too far with the red, maybe. All right, so there we go. Let's just kind of look a little bit before and after. And, you know, we might need to adjust this as time goes on. And it kind of looks like it gets, you know, super desaturated and everything, which is kind of what we want. Because let's just take a picture of this real quick. And I'll take all these off and we'll look at it, see what it looks like with our color correction. And yeah, it's going to get crushed too much with this current color correction. So no big deal at all. We'll kind of work through each little section here. And let's see, I might have a duplicate copy of this. Yeah, so let's try this again. Just curious how much it blows out now. So yeah, so I had an extra copy on there. So let's take a quick grab of that. And so that kind of looks like it blends into the scene a little bit more. And there's definitely more things we need to do. We need some motion blur on the rotors, which I'm probably gonna have to render those out separately. That's what I had to do for the helicopter. And you know what? Let's yeah, there's plenty of things we need to do. Maybe we'll brighten it up a little bit more. Cool. And then maybe we can do a little let's try adding a little bit of real smart motion blur to see how it affects the motion a little bit. Switch this over to my GPU. Cool. So it's still it's not bad. Let me turn off the motion blur for right now. It's still a little bit too crisp, so I might add a little bit of a camera blur, like, you know, or, you know, I might even let's just try just a Gaussian blur right now since it's faster, maybe something like 0.5. Basically just trying to not make it look so perfect. Let's see here. And I got my FT lens distortion plugin here to add some chromatic aberration, so I might actually... Let's try increasing our chromatic aberration a little bit. And it's also giving us a little bit of that lens bulge. Let's see, let's use... Too much. Probably still too much. All right, so we got a tiny little bit of chromatic aberration in there. A little bit of a lens bulge. And let's I got too many chromatic aberration layers, it looks like, from all my testing. So let's I'm just gonna turn this one off. And I'm using the, let's see. So I'm just kind of tweaking this a little bit. Whoops, way too much the wrong way. Let's invert that bad boy. So I'm just adding a little bit of a chromatic aberration to this to kind of get that CG not to be so perfect. Cool, so there's a couple of things like that we can do. Let's turn off all those color correction layers really quick. And let's look at a couple of effects we could do. I probably could have rendered these out in Octane, but let's just let's get a little bit of these high contrast glares in there. And I'm just crushing these to get the brightest whites. And I might just tint it to make sure we don't get too much. Let's do a let's get a fast blur. And I might do another fast blur. Let's just see what it looks like. Get a little bit of horizontal, like anamorphic sort of look. We'll do the curves and boost up the alpha now. All right, let's see here. Let's just boost up the whole thing. And let's just set that to something like add. Unsolo it. All right, cool. So we're getting a little bit of those blown out glows now. Yeah, I could definitely render this in Octane, but you know, I might blur it out a little bit more. We don't want to go too far. And let's turn on the horizontal fast blur a little bit. I went with the wrong one. If we want to introduce more of the glare, we can kind of drop our levels down. Let's see. You know, just a little bit of glare. Even this is probably too much. I could probably just do the overall opacity now. Because we just want it to be subtle. We don't want to overdo it. Alright, let's turn our looks back on. Alright, and there's kind of where we got so far. Let's the lens distortion takes forever to RAM preview, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna just RAM preview this and let's see what we kind of got here. And turn the motion blur back on. All right. While that's rendering in the background, I'm gonna set this set up some of these render passes like for the rotors and stuff, because I don't think the motion blur is going to find that. Hello. Okay. Yeah, so that's this is what we did today. And the glow is messed up, the motion blur doesn't make sense. There's some issues, but overall it's good in there.
It is getting there.
So
I like the little guns that come down.
yeah. And then eventually we'll put some more in this into the scene and yeah, whole 9 yards. So cool. All right, well, everyone, that's all I have for today. I might be on later tonight. Yeah, subscribe on all the good things if you want. You know, YouTube and Twitch are kind of the main ones I'm looking at. If you're viewing from somewhere else, check us out there. I kind of view YouTube the most, but yeah. Anyways, thanks again for hanging out, guys. We kind of got somewhere today. We'll maybe play with it more coming up, but have a great rest of your weekend. I got to catch the this Broncos game that's going on. We'll see how it's doing, but yeah, I will see you guys on the next live stream, or if anything, I'll see you on Friday for the low poly tutorial and toolkit. So have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.